Yo, welcome to TR Leads, where we empower, activate, and equip. We have today with us a young king, none other than Adam Swain himself. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I am doing very well, man. I'm glad to have you in here with the busy schedule you have, the busy young man you are, and the demand that's on your talents and gifts. You made some time.
I receive it. I receive it. Had to.
Absolutely. So let's dive into some this or that. Coffee or tea?
Tea, coffee breath, can't do it.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike all day from Chicago.
TV or film?
I really like The Office. Film.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Chinese or Indian?
Chinese for sure. That's sweet.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
California summer versus the winter you know. It could stay the same, but you know.
That's pretty. The winter I know. I'd still say winter because don't you get really hot in California summer?
Well, it depends where you are in California because if you along the coast, you get that nice breeze.
Oh, hold up, we in like along the coast. I'm going California in summer.
You get that nice breeze.
Yeah, I want that nice breeze thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if we say in California coast. I'm going California summer.
All right. I feel the winter because, man, that's when you can really dress. You know, you got layers. There's nothing like winter clothes.
There ain't nothing like winter clothes. But if you in California, you got that nice little breeze going on. You wear that jacket. Spoken as a person that's never lived in California.
Absolutely. Early bird or night owl?
Oh, for sure a night owl.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Cake or cookies?
Cheesecake, tuxedo cake. Yeah, cake.
Biggie or Tupac?
I'm going Tupac.
J. Cole or Nas?
Ooh. Who do I think's better or who do I like listening to more?
J. Cole or Nas?
I'm going J. Cole.
Kendrick or Jay-Z?
Oh. Jay-Z. I've been feeling more Jay-Z lately.
Eminem or Larry Bird?
What? What? Eminem? What? That's a chart? That's a comparison?
Oh, my God. It's a comparison to greatness, right? Which level of greatness do you relate to the most?
See, I know more about Eminem.
Got it. One ply or two ply?
Two ply. If you say one, you're a monster.
Yeah, you for sure have diseases.
We ain't shaking hands at all.
No, elbows.
Who cares if COVID's over? I'm not shaking your hand.
All right, man. Listen, as a multi-hyphenate, what is one thing that each of your areas of talent has taught you?
So, for the word multi-hyphenate, they might not know what that word means.
Yeah, you gonna break it down.
So, okay.
You may not know.
No, I was really thinking about y'all. That's what I was doing. So if you wanna, I was just because hey, I know it. I
tried to
read the dictionary and everything.
Them.
So the question still ain't been answered. So multi-hyphenate.
So you sports, you're in the acting, you're in the music, you're in the
See,
you multi-hyphenate.
You guys ready? The class ready? Okay. Now what was the question?
As a multi-hyphenate person, what have each one of your talents and areas of abilities taught you? Just one thing that maybe streams line across.
Just being able to do well under pressure. Mm-hmm. I think for me, because with snowboarding snowboarding really taught me acting, and with snowboarding it's the same thing. Like you practice all this time just to do a run that is like 50 seconds, and if you do it well, you get to do it twice. And that's pretty much what doing an audition was and doing a scene was. Like you practice all this time to do it, and then when you actually do the audition, if they like you, they say, okay, do it one more time. Yeah. Okay. And so that's what it really, that's how those two really correlated with me, and especially with collaboration, in the sense of that's what snowboarding was. Snowboarding was me collaborating with my coach on how do I put a run together, and me collaborating with directors. Okay, so how do we want to pull this scene out? What do we want to do on the page and bring to the screen?
So you mentioned snowboarding, but one thing that the people need to know about you for right now, you have some Chicago in your blood.
All day.
You are from
Southside.
How long did you live in Chicago?
I lived there until I was about 8 or 9.
From birth to 8.
From birth to 8.
So from birth to 8, you lived in the south side of Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Did you snowboard in Chicago?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Nope.
So a brother from Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Fell in love with snowboarding.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Well, what had happened was when my family, we moved up from Chicago to Vancouver to help take care of my grandmother, who was taking care of our grandparents at that time. And for me, I really loved skateboarding. Yeah. So like up until the age of like 12, I was all about skateboarding. And I was like, Mom, can I skateboard? Can I skateboard? And I always said, can I skateboard when I'm 14? Just because 14 was my favorite number at the time. Yeah. And little did I know, I'd love skateboarding by the time I was 11. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and bend the rules now. I'm gonna try snowboarding. Yeah. And so I tried snowboarding, and then I ended up just falling in love with snowboarding, falling in love with something that I grew up seeing, which was snow. Yeah. But seeing it used in such a different way that you don't see it for. Right. Like normally in Chicago, you see the snow, you trying to get away from it. Versus here, I'm running to it. And
everybody's so running to it.
Yeah. And so it was definitely that's how I got into it. The love for music, the love for style, fashion. That city is brought out a lot of people that have inspired me, with Kanye West, and brought out, and even with Jordan, even though no, he was born in New York. I know New York people like taking credit for everything. So yeah, I know that. But no, just like with Jordan being Chicago Bulls, like how that's a big part of Chicago. And for me, like I always loved finding ways to still stand out, even especially with snowboarding. Like I'm known as the guy on the team that will snowboard in a Bulls jersey. I'll snowboard in anything repping Chicago. And so for me, it's just a pride that I take in my city for sure. I take a pride in the good, and then my heart also weighs with the bad parts of it as well. Absolutely. So definitely, you can't have one without the other.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely. What describe Global Adam?
Global Adam. Interesting. Global Adam, I guess just say more open to everything else, because Vancouver is definitely a more global city than Chicago. And for me, growing up, I only really thought about Black and Chinese, because that's what I am. Yeah. Before, when I came up here, I'm like, oh, I knew coming up to Vancouver as, oh, I'm gonna learn Chinese because my Chinese family's here. But I'm telling people, they're like, oh, you're gonna learn French. What's that? Right. Like, and seeing like a whole bunch of white people here, that was a whole different thing to me. I was like, oh, they make you guys. Yeah. That's it. I was like, y'all are here. That's right. And so for me, it was definitely moving here. It's more of a global city. There's more cultures here. And that made me more open and made me more global to being receptive of multiple different cultures. And
how's being a dual citizen, or being from two different places, countries? How has that shaped you into? I would say you're an influencer, a young influencer. How has that shaped your mindset, your confidence? Your lack of confidence, how has being from two different parts of the world shaped who you are today?
I think there's two sides to it. For me, there's when I go back to Chicago, I'm not someone they know I'm born in Chicago, but I'm someone that's from Canada. But when I'm up here, if y'all could still probably hear, because this American accent that people be talking about, I still got that. So people know off the jump, I'm not originally from here. Yeah. And I think for me, it's something that makes me unique. And it's a lot about standing out, and especially when you have the ability to be from one of the most cultural hubs that is Chicago, and being a part of another hub that is Vancouver, and a hub in itself. And being a part of being a part of two destination cities.
Nice.
There's two different cultures that come with that, and you can be the bridge that gaps both of them together. And I think for me, that's how I've definitely here, at least I've definitely stuck with my American roots. They don't seem like they ain't leaving anytime soon. And so definitely that's how I've kind of used it as a way to package myself, you know, like, this is me. Absolutely. Give or take, kind of do it the same way to America, which they ain't used to, with a Canadian being like, yo, this is me, give or take. Versus like, they kind of expect you to be a little bit more passive, because Canadians are passive. Let's be real. I'm looking at you. Yeah, let's be real. We're a little bit passive, okay? Jeez. Right. But yeah, definitely like there's like a cool boldness that comes with it too. It's like, I'm from there from there kind of thing. Absolutely. So definitely it's brought me a different type of confidence for sure.
No, that's so good. See, so you also grew up for the most part in church.
Yes.
How has faith shaped you?
Faith has shaped me. Really, it's shaped my whole life, but it really started taking effect around like 13, really. And for me, it was, like I said, when you're the youngest, you just go where mom and dad go. Yeah. And for me, that was what it was a lot, going to St. Sabina Church, Michael Flager, love you, standing with you. And so going there, that's really, really shaped my perception of church and the culture that I knew was church. Because the Lord's always had me be a part of groundbreaking churches. And with St. Sabina being what it was a Catholic church, but it got turned into a gospel church. Like, it's something that you ain't heard of. And same thing
Catholic with Jerry curls.
Let your soul glow.
Right. Anyway.
But yeah, just being there, there's a desperation of faith there. Yeah. And because you got kids dying at 12. Yeah. And you see people's faith, like, they're holding on to God. Yeah. They're holding on, like, I need God, because if I don't have God, I literally might die when I walk out here. And so growing up around that, and growing around a desperation for church, that was something I took for granted. Yeah. But like, also, as well as I was 8, so it's like, you taking something for granted, but also I'm just being a kid. Like, I'm falling asleep in church all the time. I mean, like, throw back to the days where you could just fall asleep in church and the pastor won't call you out.
Absolutely.
Jeez,
them
man.
days over.
I know. Some days I'm like, nope, he gonna call me out. Keep my eyes open. Absolutely. But no, even when moving up here and just seeing like, you know what, God is definitely a big part of my life, because he's the only reason I can explain making it this far. Yeah. And like, I've had so many close calls in terms of injury. Yeah. And so many injuries that, like, can't explain walking away from with no scratch. Like, that's, for me, definitely that instilled me to believe, like, you know what? Yeah, God is looking out for me. God's looking out for me for sure. And just the way he's ordained my life and organizing my life and everything, the way he's moving puzzle pieces around. Yeah. It's something that I can only give credit to God for sure.
Well spoken. So you have clearly made this transition. What some people may not know, you are one of the top snowboarders in the country, and but then there came a point in your life where you decided to go, not even at a different direction, but more full time in a specific direction. Mm-hmm. And some people may not know that you're into acting. Yes. And you're on your way to, I believe, a successful career. I would say you're already succeeding. Because, I receive it. The reason I say that is because your success as a young man, the fact that you're rooted in faith and you have a good family, you got a good head on your shoulders at a young age, I think you've succeeded, right? The amount of money, the number of films, the notoriety you will get has nothing to do with who you are. There's 60-year-olds still acting, and their identity is in acting. It's not in something way greater than that.
For sure.
And so your greatness is not wrapped up in your work.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean?
Like it's definitely definitely an industry specifically both with acting and snowboarding. It's definitely both things that you got to fully commit to.
Yeah.
And when you fully commit to them, it's like something's got to get sacrificed when you commit to something. Yeah. And so for both of them, it's like, okay, if I'm gonna go be a snowboarder, I'm cutting down everything else. Like I remember talking to multiple snowboarders saying, "Oh yeah, I'm an actor as well." It's like, wow, that's great. You have something to fall back on because this is all I got. Yeah. And just my heart breaking for them. It's like, dang, no, you so much more than a snowboarder. Yeah. You so much more than an actor. And so definitely that's setting that as an example of, you know what, this is why this can't be my identity. Yeah. It's like what you said, your occupation isn't what you do, it isn't what you are. Yeah. And so definitely that's definitely something I've definitely stuck with and definitely wanted to hold on to for sure.
Yeah. So you've been actively for a short period in some big shows, and what is something you've learned from each one of those big moments that has helped you be, how you can encourage your generation, how has these big moments helped shape you as a leader, an influencer, a person? Because I've watched you. I think every time you go to higher heights, it brings a sense of confidence, a greater level of confidence. But I haven't seen you switch up who Adam has been. Mm-hmm. So many people begin to start changing. You're still in your roots, and it helps. You have solid parents, and you got great people around you. Yeah. And so you're not gonna get goofy. And there's a lot of people your age this industry is gonna swallow them up.
For sure.
How has these big moments shaped you? But also, how have you not let them compromise you?
It's come from really my big moments. How I handle my big moments is really how it stems from an acting class that I had. And it was an acting class I had with a lady named Beatrice King, one of my coaches, and she brought in a casting director into the class. And I did a scene in the class, and I felt like I killed it. Like after it, I was like, and cut. Ooh, in my head, I'm going, yeah, I killed that thing. Ain't no one better than me right now. And she just goes, yeah, I didn't feel anything. And after that, it's like, oh, okay. I'm just gonna go sit down now. And then, meanwhile, you have all the other students, and they're going, no, I thought you did a good job. Mm-hmm. In my head, I'm going, you could think I did a good job, but the person that's gonna hire me didn't matter. Yeah. Like I need that person on my side. And so casting director's name is Michelle Allen, and so I definitely thank her, because that's how, when I walked away from that class, I was like, okay, whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make them feel something. Yeah. And so definitely that's how I've handled these big moments, is like, you know what, I got a big moment right now. I'm on this show. You know what? I'm gonna make them feel something. Yeah. I'm hanging around with these incredible actors right now whose souls could just be looking like trash on the inside. I'm gonna make them feel something. It's up to me to make them feel something, but it's also up to me to make sure that they feel, to give them everything that they can, so they can feel love. They can feel the right things. Yeah. So I can take away everything else that makes it feel terrible. And so that's really what's helped me handle my big moments and handle my small moments. Is just like, you know what, I just gotta make them feel something. Absolutely. And for sure not letting it change me, because everyone else is changing. Yeah. It's like when everyone else is changing at the same time, it starts to come into like fitting in, you know, totally. There's like the stereotype of, oh, you an actor now. Okay. Well, they have a lot of drugs in acting, right?
Yeah.
They have a lot of drugs in snowboarding, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, I'm not doing it because
Yeah.
that makes me stand out because there's really no fun in fitting in with everybody else.
Absolutely.
And so definitely that's how it's been positioned to me, and especially how you said to me one time, you said failure is out of my DNA as long as compromise is out of my decision making.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I ain't trying to fail at nothing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So just holding on to that's like, you know what? I can't compromise myself. I do no one a service, compromising myself and belittling myself and what's in me. So that's definitely how it's shaped my moments. For sure.
I hope you guys heard that. Failure is out of my DNA as long as compromise is out of my decision making. That is huge.
Yeah.
For any age person, and for you as a young man to be holding on to that. And I also see that some of your decision making, what has kept you grounded. I try to tell my kids all the time, especially like my daughter or my older son. It's like you can't develop thinking you know it all. You can't.
Absolutely not.
You can't think that God's gonna bless and open supernatural doors if you are arrogant and you're comparing yourself, or you're looking at how whack somebody else is, right? I never want to be God's example of humbling somebody, right? And
True.
If you never want to be that person who has to be told, I don't feel nothing.
Right.
But
yeah.
see, a good leader is going to see your greatness, and they're going to be able to smell when you think you smell in yourself, and they will pass on you just to teach you a lesson, because they know if you can catch that lesson. But I don't ever want the lesson.
Yeah, right.
So many people, like our kids, they think they'll never have to face that lesson. So I'm like, just humble yourself right now. Stop looking at other people's weakness, because you're going to get that audition. You're going to get in front of somebody. Your voice going to crack. You're going to get crossed over. You don't want to have to be humbled.
Yep,
right?
for
Just
sure.
humble yourself before you have to be humbled. And that's biblical principle. Just humble yourself, because no one is exempt from being humbled.
Definitely.
Nobody.
No one is exempt from being humble. No one is, and especially pride comes before the fall.
Absolutely.
So if you all types of arrogant, I've seen it happen to tons of people, whether it's in sports or whether it's in acting. Like there's a difference between confidence and pride.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And when you got pride and when you bigging yourself up too much,
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, okay, I'm sorry about what's about to happen to you, but I know what's about to happen. It's
Absolutely.
Like, you about to be a lesson. Okay.
You about to be a curriculum.
Exactly.
You about to be a curriculum. So Riverdale, Memories of Christmas, Hardy Boys, A Million Little Things. Now, I list those because I'm gonna work backwards. All those things, all those roles, and if I can remember, maybe it was just Riverdale, but there was a point where you actually let go of snowboarding.
Yes.
There was a point you let go of snowboarding. You was at a crossroad, and you knew the commitment it was going to take you to the next level in snowboarding. And you that's tough for a young man. You're successful at snowboarding, and you're just at the door of your acting career.
Yeah.
In a very as nutshell-y as it can be. As a young man, what was the deal breaker, the decision maker? What happened to help you say, man, I'm gonna put this over here?
Yeah, it was
go forward.
To make that transition. It was the transition between when I first got Riverdale, and that was my first acting gig ever. And up until then, snowboarding was my only love. And until one time, I remember it's such a small moment of when I went back into my trailer and I saw myself in the mirror, and I was like, yeah, I do this. And that was the starting the switch of, okay, this is what I want to do. And then now the gears started turning, but I still got this other gift here. Like what does God still want to use that? Like what do I do with that right now? And so for me, it was I was torn between deciding two dreams. Like am I failing at one dream to do another, because I don't want to fail at something.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to fail at
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And it was actually a conversation that I had with you, and you said you got to think about it this way, and it was annoying at the time because you gave me one of them Jesus answers. I was like, listen, I'm over at your house. We barbecuing right now. We having a connection for sure. I'm asking you this question. You ain't giving me a yes or no. Like, no. I was like, oh, I got to figure this out. And it was, you got to go where you have the most influence. And there's absolutely more influence in being a snowboarder. There's more influence in being an actor that's a snowboarder than a snowboarder that's an actor.
Absolutely.
But then I was like, okay, so I know what that answer means. But then you also went in with not saying that God can have you be the interruption. I'm like, you throwing in all these variables. Come on. And I think for that moment, more and more as that conversation is unfolding, revealing to be true, at the time I was like, you know what? He's right. I set out what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I said I wanted to be a competitive snowboarder.
Yeah.
I was a competitive snowboarder. I traveled. I got to be higher ranking. I got to ride with some of Canada's best, the world's best. And I completed that dream. Yeah. So it's time to go on to do something else that people said that I showed promise in. And that was another difficult part because I've been fortunate and blessed enough to have higher up people tell me, oh yeah, you got it. Yeah. And so that's also that other part in the back of your head, like, but this coach said I got it. He said I can go all the way. Then this director said, no, you have a future here. Like what am I supposed to do? Yeah. Like in between, I tried doing snowboarding and acting at the same time. Yeah. That is a big commitment to try and make, especially financially and insurance wise. Yeah. You break a bone, and you got to go film something the next day. That ain't gonna look good.
You risk it, and you only get a window of opportunity. You be that. Right. It's like being a big man in the NBA that always is injured. Like, you can only have so many injuries, and then teams is just gonna be passing on you. Like, you don't want to be the injured actor.
Right. No.
But this is what people miss. People miss that there's only one purpose that each person has. There's only one purpose. There's many dreams. Yeah. And I think dreams are assignments unfolding in the subconscious.
That's good.
Right? They're like assignments unfolding in the subconscious.
Everybody should be writing that down right now.
We're so caught up in, I want to live out this one dream. Yeah. And so you spend so much time thinking about, what is the one dream? And no, we all as humans have one purpose. Birds have one purpose. Like things have one purpose. And everything that's been created, the one purpose you're created for is to bring God glory. Yeah. Now, if you're a janitor, that's an assignment, but the purpose is the same. Mm-hmm. Whether you're Steph Curry, and think about this. You go to an NBA game. Yeah. Do you know how many assignments are there? There's the vending machine, there's the towel boy, there's the Steph Curry, there's the cameraman, there's the coaches, there's the trainers, there's the administration, there's the media that's getting it to people. Yep. It is all these different assignments, but there's one purpose, and it's entertainment.
That's good, yeah.
Right? Wow. And it doesn't matter if you're cleaning up the stadium afterwards, you are needed to fulfill the purpose. And that purpose was entertainment, right? We would not know Jordan if there was no cameraman, right? If there was no security, they wouldn't be the same players to just focus without the ball boy, the towel boy, right? The trainers that help them, the doctors. Everyone have a purpose, and they come together, pack out a stadium so people can be entertained, have a break from life. As a human, man, our main purpose is to bring God glory. Yeah. Period. And throughout the life that we're blessed with, we get all kinds of assignments. And if people could just relax and just say, today, I'm not going to be miserable with the assignment I have. But that assignment is not the end of my purpose. Wow. Right? So I'm a snowboard. And when I come to making this decision, I could actually say, have I completed the assignment? Man, I don't need to keep pushing the assignment. I don't need to
pass complete.
Right. I don't need to do extra credit.
Right.
Right. I passed.
Don't need to do extra credit.
No, I passed. Right. I've done it. I'm done. Let me move.
Yeah.
And now God can use me in another assignment. Right. And so last couple questions. What do you believe is the responsibility of artists in shaping culture?
Responsibility of artists in shaping culture. In terms of all the arts, it's like you said, there's a bunch of different assignments, but there's also one purpose. And I think everyone's assignment is to do well in their field, but the purpose is to make, sounds corny, but to make people better and to make people more well-rounded. And for sure, there's different parts of arts where they're influencing for the worse. But I believe that in every arts, whether it's acting or whether it's writing or painting, like there's everything you do can cause reflection. And you want to leave people with the reflection of, you know what? Maybe I could change that in myself. Yeah. You know what? Maybe no. I am strong. I am courageous, and I think that's where, especially why I love music so much, because it can make you go through a bunch of different emotions in like 4 minutes 30 seconds. It's like I was not expecting this roller coaster of emotions right now, and I think that's there is in the era of hip hop where there was emo rap was popular, and that was a time where it's like, you know what, that's not what, there are people that feel that, but that's not what art is for. Like, art isn't made, you can't just wallow in it, because that's not helping you or anybody get out of your depression. Like, you need music that's gonna uplift you. You need things that are gonna uplift you. And I think as artists, it's our job to reflect the world, but also reflect it and put a positive spin on it. Absolutely. And be like, you know what? Because people are looking to us and be like, okay, this is my escape. Whatever you do, this is how I escape these next 5 minutes. Yeah. And if I'm saying, okay, let's escape, but I'm gonna show you how I'm depressed over here. Absolutely. That just brings you right back into where you were. Yeah. And so that's not helping anybody. So I think for sure it's in the world, it's up to artists to really help everyone's tripart being. Yeah. Their soul, the outer man. The third one is the spirit. That's one. The spirit one. That's one. The spirit. See, that's why he's the pastor. Absolutely. You know? Yeah. So like, you're supposed to help your tripart being, and you ain't a full person without those three. Absolutely. Absolutely. This has been good, man. We've done a song together, and we're getting ready to do some more music together. Yes, sir. And we definitely, I am enjoying changing the world with you. Amen. And your family. Too. And won't you leave us with a thought on the importance of accountability? The importance of accountability. Mentorship, accountability, having that accountability figure in your life. For sure. When you have accountability, don't expect the yes or no. And that's something that, as I said earlier, I went with him when he was trying to give me advice on snowboard acting. Don't go in expecting the yes or no. You got to be ready to do the work yourself. Yeah. But you just also got to be able to you got to be able to learn as well. Pride got to go. Pride's a very big thing, and it's a very lethal thing as well. Yeah. If you let it blow up too big, and especially that'll take you from, like, if we had that conversation and I had too much pride, I'm like, that dude don't know what he's talking about. Right. He ain't even see me on a snowboard. Right. Like he ain't know I'm killing these brothers right now. Right. And I could just be somewhere completely off doing something else, just out of the will. Absolutely. Yeah. And for sure with accountability, that's also someone that wants to be in your corner. Yeah. That's someone that wants to be in your corner. Someone that sees you for you, and especially in a time where people will go through times where, like, you know what, when I make it big, I got all these people around me. You don't want those people. You don't want those yes men around you. You want the people that'll be like, hey, no, bro, you gotta redo that again. That was trash. That was like, I just killed the audition. I didn't feel anything. Yeah. Like you need the Michelle Allens around you in life. And that's what accountability is. They'll tell you when it's ugly. They'll tell you when it's good. And when they tell you when it's ugly, that'll magnify how good it is.
Yeah, that's the difference between having people that want to see you win versus people that just want to be by you while you're winning.
Absolutely.
Right? They just want to enjoy your winning.
Yeah.
They don't want to see when you want to see somebody win, it's by even telling them the truth, even if the truth hurts.
Right.
And when you do find people that actually want to not just cheer for you, accountability is not cheerleaders.
No.
Right?
Definitely
Accountability
not.
is coaches and trainers and people that are going to correct even when it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And not give up on you. And so I think your success that has come and that is coming hugely connected to the accountability you have in your life, starting with God, then with your parents,
For sure.
your family, your church home. And so, man, stay rooted and stay connected to the Lord and be that light. Don't compromise, man. The Lord's going to put you in positions to write roles. You don't have to compromise in roles just to make it. He will make your name famous.
Amen.
He will.
Amen.
He will.
I receive it
I'm
all.
proud of you, sir. And I'm glad you, my friend, while you got water in your mouth.
Yeah.
I think the food done came.
I was about
So
to
it's
say.
time to go.
It's time to go now.
It's time to go.
We got to eat now.
You got any last 5 words? 5 words you want to leave them with. Not 5 sentences.
Okay,
5
5 words.
words that you want to leave us with.
Intentionality. Courageous. At 2. Curiosity. Fearless. That's 3.
4.
4. Huh, see, I can count. Got one more. Okay. Joy.
Joy.
Just choose joy.
Joy. Well, this is TR Leads. This is Adam Swain, Young King.
Yes, sir.
This is where we activate, equip, and empower. Yep. We will be back with you with more and more episodes. We are out of time, but we are not out of content.
Come on
so get your love fixed, man, and we will see you soon.